Aaron Judge had the injury to his toe on June the 3rd over at Dodger Stadium, made a hell of a catch at the wall. There's just no winning with those people. It's, oh, Aaron Judge didn't lay it out. He gets paid millions of dollars. Oh, he didn't go try and make the catch. And then it's, he's injury prone, all that. Oh, why did he get millions of dollars? Oh, he showed his true colors. He want to sit on the bench and all that. But let's see you try to play with a bad ligament on your toe. Not everyone can be GOAT King LeBron James. Let's be honest. This guy played with a torn ligament throughout the postseason. Not everyone can be GOAT King LeBron James. This is his back toe. This is your back foot that you plant, you pivot when you're swinging the back. This is a real uh, injury to really be cautious about. And don't forget, you can always be a DH. You don't have to run in the outfield or whatever. So I mean, I suppose if it still was a problem, just playing outfield, he can always be DH. But Yankees always swing for the fences. They're swinging for the home run every at bat. They're fundamentally poor. They strike out with runners on bases. It's just awful all around. It's all about entertaining the band, swinging, hitting home runs, just regular season fireworks, regular season fireworks. And let me tell you, this swing for the home run every at bat, if you're not making contact, you're striking out. You cannot win games without Aaron Judge playing that way of baseball. You are going to have to move runners up, hit a ground ball to the first baseman, to the second baseman, move the runner at second to third base, no outs, one out. Make contact, hit it deep enough into the outfield, score the run from third base. Squeeze in as many runs as can be. Make contact first. Let the ball naturally go all the way to the outfield fence. You're bound to hit home runs with the talent that's on this team. The Houston Astros, they certainly did hit home runs during the past postseason, but first and foremost, they made contact. Gotta make contact first before you can start hitting the home runs. The Yankees have got the guys with the necessary pop to hit home runs, even without trying to hit the home run every at bat. That's what has to happen without the great Jorginho. You are gonna have to win games based on the fundamentals, and they certainly did so. That 3-2 win over the Texas Rangers to take a series 2 out of 3 without Judge against the leaders of the AL West. They did not hit a home run that game. That is a winning formula that they must embrace throughout the rest of the time. It's going to be a 2 to 3 month injury. The pitching staff, obviously, without Judge, they know they got to pitch even better. Guys like Severino have to step it up. Garrett Cole's been nothing short of phenomenal. Michael King, hopefully he will get better coming off of his injury throughout the latter parts of August, September. The pitching knows that without Judge, they're going to have to step it up even more. They just need to light a fire under their ass. They're not going to be carried by this lineup every single game. They need to go back to the fundamentals. You are going to have to go back to the fundamentals before you can even think about, because they struck out too many times last October, moving runners, sac flies, the little stuff that is the difference between winning and losing a World Series. Houston Astros, I told you, yes, they did hit home runs, but They make contact. They move runners up. They do all the little things. So I think this injury is a wake up call, but the Yankees were the worst team in the league during the month of August last year. Already with all the injuries, so this is a far different team. They've stayed at 500. They're not the worst team in August. Yes, they scored a lowest amount of runs, whatever, but they're battling, they're winning games. They're staying above these teams in the wild card race, and you betcha there's going to be a move made at the All Star break at the trade deadline, and Jorginho going to be back. I think mid August, late August, early September is the timeline. He's not missing the season. See, the Yankees are in the playoffs. Say Aaron Judge this contract. If he's not going to be seen as a bum in the city of New York, he's going to be back. If they're in the playoff race, he's going to be back. If he's a DH, if he's playing the outfield, he's going to be back. You don't even have to play the outfield. You can play DH. They're get this guy back. This is what legends are made for. This great Jorginho is going to battle through, come back from the toe injury. Even if he's not 100%, the Yankees are in the playoff race. Bet the house he coming back if they're in the playoff race that they can control their own destiny. He's going to be back August, September. It's the great Jorginho right here. All rise to the judge. He's got to earn every damn penny in that contract. Without the most important player in baseball, you stay in the playoff race. He must be the difference between the championship and no championship, and you stay in the playoff race. With that being said, the Astros, they can miss the playoffs. I think the Angels make the playoffs. I can totally see the Astros missing the playoffs. It's a different season. It's a different thing. Look at all these teams in the race. AL East is as loaded as can be. The Yankees are still ahead of the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. The AL East is just battering teams outside the division. That division is real. The Rays have a bad record on the road. That's the one thing. The bad thing about the Rays is that they lose too many games away. I think that weakness is going to show itself. I think California team, the World Series, Dodgers, Padres. I like Padres. Dodgers, Padres. I kind of dig Dodgers, Padres between those two teams. Make it the World Series. One of those two teams, Dodgers, Padres. Marlins got crashed out of the playoffs. They're going to crash out of the playoffs. One of these two teams there, the Phillies, the Padres, one of them going to make the playoffs. And we'll see if the D-backs, if they're going to choke and collapse. I think they're a 10-game lead in the division a few years back. Then the Dodgers came back and won the division. I'm telling you, August, September is where the crazy stuff happens in baseball. Teams get odd. Teams make moves at the trade deadline, and we'll definitely see the Marlins fizzle out. Astros, Angels, Yankees are going to be there for the wild card spot. August, September, game by game, day by day, week by week. It's a bloodbath. The wild card is a good thing for the game of baseball. Teams stay in the playoff race the whole year. They're not selling. It's ultimately good. They bring as many people out to the crowd. The bad thing is that the local teams get blacked out, from MLB, whatever. Even if you live in the area, you can't watch the team or whatever. It's just weird. They're not doing a good job of trying to keep the game alive, so to speak. So anyway, that's the outlook from this injury, is that they're going to change the way how they fundamentally play, I think. The pitching staff, obviously, they're going to have to carry the team. They did so, 1-0 over the Rangers. I'm starting to see it with the pitching staff. I mean, Garrett Cole looking like he is a Cy Young. Stepped up in the postseason. Severino, all you guys. Are ready to get another starter at the trade deadline. Something to look out for. Phillies, Padres, one of these two got to go make it. Phillies won't be in the World Series this year. I think the Dodgers' time is up. Then we'll see. Padres, Braves, but I'll stick with the California team in the National League. The Padres, Dodgers, I tell you. The Padres, this is 100-year anniversary of 1923. The Yankees beat the New York Giants. Season started against the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco they're in New York before they moved to San Francisco. So ultimately, 99 World Series later, because 1994 there was no Fall Classic due to the players' strike. I like Ray Gio to win 99 World Series later in 2023, and then it's all over. It's all over. Judge will start to pick up injuries after next year. Hal Steinbrenner's still a joke. Aaron Judge gonna save his ass. This guy's a real legend, even with one ring. Ray Gio's gonna be the difference between a championship and no championship. This guy's gonna be clutch. The narrative is he can't hit in October. And just like with Alex Rodriguez all these years, he was suddenly, uh, you know, Mickey Mantle, Ty Cobb, whatever. And he had a great 2009. So Judge could have a great postseason, I think. This is not a season-ending injury. This is a 2 to 3 month injury. That's what it is. He ain't out for the year. Late August, September. Keep an eye out for that time. Uh, Judge must write the legend coming off of the toe injury. One of the few chances left to win the championship. And if he can, then he's a legend. You don't need to win any more rings because Al Steinbrenner's a joke. Aaron Boone is a joke. Aaron Judge gonna save all their asses this year.